Hi, this is Dodger and you're watching my show. So I turned my Street Fighter t-shirt into one of those flowy, girly waterfall vests. It's kind of awesome because I feel really incognito. I keep getting compliments on it. I'm like, you don't even know. You don't even realize there's a dude fighting stuff on it. One person did ask to see what the design was though, and then they were really confused. So for gaming news, Pinchbeck, who is the creative director for the Chinese Room, and remember the Chinese Room is working with Frictional Games on the new Amnesia game, Amnesia Machine for Pigs, which I am so stoked about. So Pinchbeck has started talking for the Chinese Room about what exactly they're trying to do differently in this Amnesia game, and apparently there's going to be an even bigger interview that's going to be going up later this week on Gamasutra, if that's something that you're interested in. I'm super interested in it, but we don't know exactly what day. Probably either Thursday or Friday since they just said later this week, but I'm excited for that. I'm really excited to read what they have to say. Excited, really excited. So anyway, the Chinese Room is really trying to focus on the game world and creating a sense that you don't want to be there because it's terrifying, but at the same time you're very intrigued. It's an engaging world. I guess some of the mechanics are also going to be changed, but right now they're just focusing on creating a very interesting, different universe for it. And again, this is just enough information that I'm like, so this longer interview, when is this happening? Because I want to know. Either way, it's gonna be like so awesome and I can't wait to have the bejesus scared out of me. Do you remember way back when I was talking about the BioShock movie and how they got a second director to come in and take over the project? So now, apparently, finally some follow-up happened. This movie, okay, they started plans for this movie in like 2008, and they've just been dropping the ball. A lot of the issue has come from figuring out what the rating for the movie should be. It's been a few years now, guys. You'd think that they could just agree on how intense this movie needed to be. Make it an R rating. Why is this hard? Why can't you just make it an R rating and make it as intense as you know this game should be? Honestly, a good BioShock movie should be rated R. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. But Gore Verbinski was the first one, and now Fernandillo is like, peace out, I got other projects to work on, so who's gonna direct this thing? No one. No one's gonna direct it. I want this movie to exist, but I want it to exist in the same realm that the video game exists in. I don't want them to be like, well, these elements of the game were a little intense, so let's not do that. No, if you're gonna make BioShock movie, make a BioShock movie. Oh well, Infinite's gonna be awesome, so whatever. Okay, what else? Phantasy Star Online 2 is actually going to be on smartphones. That was a thing. It's being marketed pretty heavily as a PC game, but there's also going to be a Vita version and an iOS version, I think specifically. I don't think it's going to be both iOS and Android, unfortunately. They're trying to do it where the PC version and the Vita version would be linked. So all of the updates would happen to both, everything would happen in sort of a bubble, but they can't guarantee that for the smartphone version. With a plan like that, the thing that will be interesting to me is to see whether or not they have any hiccups with the updates happening on mutual platforms. Okay, so this last thing is something that I've been thinking about for a couple of days, and I wanted to know what you guys thought about it, because you guys have really interesting discussions in the comments. I love reading the comments because even if you don't agree with me, I don't get offended at all. I just really like reading through the discussions and the banter, and it's really fun for me. So I've been thinking about zombies in general for a while now, because you know, they're very oversaturated at this point. There are a lot of games that have zombies of different forms and different shapes. But then I started to think to myself, like, why does this entire span of stuff all count as zombies? It's weird to me. If you look at the zombies in the Last of Us trailer, they're definitely this interesting, like, plague that's kind of a fungal growth that happens on these people and turns them murderous. And looking at them, I wouldn't look at them and say, oh, they're zombies. That's not what I would think at all, unless the game was being marketed as a zombie game. So then it makes me wonder, like, if there's some sort of a plague in the universe that this game is happening in, if there's some sort of a plague that causes the victim to become murderous toward other humans, is that all it takes for it to count as zombification? Is there something else that technically classifies zombies that's just kind of being overrun for the sake of having this basic idea to platform something on? Do not get me wrong. I think that the zombies in The Last of Us look awesome. And as like a prop and costume nerd, I've been looking at them a bunch and going, God, they look cool. And it is really refreshing to watch a trailer for something and go, oh, those aren't normal zombies. They went in a totally different direction with this. And then I wonder, could they have marketed it differently? Or is this really the best possible way? I don't know. I'm interested to know what you guys think, because I'm sure that there are plenty of you watching me right now who are huge fans of zombie stuff. And I love zombie stuff. It just feels like there's so much of it right now. And then I'm also sure there are a lot of you that are just so sick of zombie things that you have no desire to play any zombie game for a long time. So tell me your thoughts. Does it make the most sense to classify them as zombies regardless? Or is there another way to refer to them? Meanwhile, I will just sit here with my coffee and my cat. Where is my cat?
Oh, he's probably solving all the cat mysteries.
Anywho, that is my show. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a positive or a negative response, leave it in my comment section. And if you want to have coffee with me, you can click wherever I put the annotation and it'll take you to my other channel. But otherwise, I hope that you guys had an awesome day and an awesome beginning to your week, and I will talk to you again on Wednesday. Okay, bye-bye. Mwah! No one's gonna direct it.